Good afternoon, everybody. I welcome Ma'am N. Krishnaveni, President of MMBA, to commence the session by offering her welcome address. Ma'am, please.
Good evening to all. MMBA is proud in organizing this webinar. Usually, seniors will guide the juniors. Now we are in a pandemic situation where the situation is different. We have to adapt to the technology because most of the seniors, except few, are not able to access the softwares, computers, even the webinars, how to join the webinars. We are all very low in it. Without technology, there is no future with regard to the courts and the lawyers and judiciary. So we have to adapt to the situation and to develop ourselves with regard to the technology. So this is one of the occasion to know about the technology, and MMBA is always in forefront to educate our members and advocates with regard to the whatever, whether it's a law subject or it is a technology or whatever software or whatever it is. So we are happy to welcome first Bhagavad Krishna, a youngster again here, who's going to teach us how to search the softwares, Manaputra and other softwares like this to legal search. Because everybody will think that I know about it. I know what is that. If you put a citation, this will come, the citation will come. That is not like that. There are so many intricacies out there. So we have to learn. We have for so many years we are searching for a person to teach us at MMBA itself. But this is a good opportunity. First, I would like to thank Srinivas Raghavan for identifying a good speaker on this subject. First of all, thank you, Mr. Srinivas Raghavan and Hemalata for organizing this webinar. These both individuals are doing it a great job for the lawyer community. I think this is 53rd, second or 53rd webinar they are conducting. Hopefully, they'll put a century and we'll celebrate it in a grand manner. I welcome Mr. Bhagavad Krishna for this webinar on behalf of MMBA, and I welcome all the participants here for this webinar and enrich their knowledge, though they will be having it, to enrich more and enhance their knowledge on this subject. Thank you for this opportunity once again. Thank you. I give it to Mr. Srinivas Rama.
Thank you, ma'am. I owe you a lot to MMBA. MMBA is the source of strength for us. So being part of MMBA itself is a matter of prestige. So I should thank you for the opportunity given to me. Coming to the topic, I remember when I was in King and Paddy, Chennai, Mr. Dilip Singh, who is no more now, was the senior partner. He used to say most often whenever we used to search, it was the time when computers started coming to lawyer's office as only a sophisticated alternative typing machine, not for search of everything. Internet has not entered the fora. Dilip Singh used to say, half the knowledge in law lies in finding where the law is. Those are the days when we used to go to pages after pages after pages for volumes of books. Now searching the law is made easy, but even that search process is not so easy unless technology comes handy to you, and unless you know how to approach the technology in the proper way, which is meant for that. And I should salute the youngsters for seizing this technology in the way which it is to be. And when this subject came to us, immediately I contacted my friend Mr. Vishnu Ramu. The first name Vishnu suggested is Mr. Bhagavad Krishnan. So Bhagavad is a senior associate of working in HSB Associates of Chennai. He did his law, BBA, LLB from KIT School of Law at Bhubaneswar, and he finished in the year 2013. From 2013 onwards, he has been practicing and under Mr. Srinath Sridevan. So I hope that Mr. Bhagavad Krishna will do justice for the topic, no doubt. So with his rich knowledge on this subject called the legal search and research. With this introduction, I hand over the forum to Bhagavad. Bhagavad, the forum is yours.
Thank you so much, sir. I hope, before I start, I hope I'm audible to everyone.
Yes. Yeah, you're clear, no doubt.
Super, sir. Sir, thank you so much, Mr. Srinivas Raghavan, for giving me this opportunity, for asking me to present on this topic. I also like to thank the President and the Secretary of MMBA for giving me this opportunity. So with this, I'll just begin begin my presentation. To be very frank, there is no PowerPoint presentation here. What I'm going to do is basically I'll share my screen and I will take you through a couple of portals like SEC Online and Manupatra, where and see how well we can use these websites to get the best case laws for our research. So a couple of pointers before I start this whole session. First things first, there is no one particular way of doing online research. Some of them do it by using a particular set of keywords. Some of them use another set of keywords which is easier for them. So what I am attempting to do here is I have also spoken to a couple of my colleagues and I've tried to bring in whatever different ways of research that are, and whatever I put into practice to get the case law that is necessary for my admission hearing or a final hearing. Let us start with SEC Online. The second thing that I'd like to say before I comment on this session is that this cannot replace the book research that you do. This is only supplementary. This can aid in your main research, which is the research from the book. I'll also show you how sometimes book and online research are weaved in together to get certain case laws. The third thing that I'd like to say is I am now showing how you can use keywords to get a case law. I am going to use SEC Online because I am most comfortable with SEC Online. The same technique can be used in other websites also. Say for example, Indian Qanun or Manupatra. The same process can be used in other websites also. So it is not as if only SEC Online gives this kind of way for research. So I'll just start off with so these are the ties that you will find as soon as you log into SEC Online. The most important tile in all of this word search. So as soon as you click into it, you'll get an address bar. This is where your input is necessary to get a case law. So let us try working out with an example. I'm sure we've all faced with a scenario where one of your clients would have come to you and said that, listen, I was part of a inquiry and that show cause notice was issued, but I asked for certain documents mentioned in the show cause notice, but they didn't give it to me. But still order was passed without giving me any relevant documents. What do I do? What can I do? We will certainly find a writ. We will tell him that, listen, this order can be set aside. Now what you need to do is the research, which comes in handy comes in handy at the time of hearing. Now let's see what all words can we put in this address bar to get the best results. So the whole point of our exercise is to get the best case law that we can use. Now let's see what can be done. So on the research point or the facts that I've said, a couple of words that you will add for certain is furnish, documents, relevant, furnish, documents, natural justice. These are the standard words that come to our mind before while looking for case laws or while reading through a case law, whether to see if it is relevant or not. But the mistake that we do initially is that we get excited about all these that we see here. Now these are all prompts that SEC Online gives. We may see that this is exactly what you want. So what you do is you just directly click on this and hit the search button in hope that you will find the case law that you want. But the problem that you will face here is that there are 2,309 judgments with the words that I have put in. So what has SEC Online done? SEC Online has given you all the case laws, including the irrelevant case laws that you may not want. Why is that? That's because you've keyed off and the everything. SEC Online is now searching for, is now picking up those words. So for example, SEC Online is again, it is using of, and and SEC Online feels that this is the relevant document that you want, but this is not what you require. Which is why Boolean search comes into play. Now, there are various ways of methods of doing the search. The most common way is to use double quotes and use words within the double quotes to ensure that that particular word is found in the case file that you want. Let's use the same word with double quotes. So I am going to add furnish. I am going to again add documents. I'll add natural justice. Okay. Now, with this, what happens is that your search is reduced. How is it reduced? When you key in words with double quotes, what will happen is that SEC Online will give search results of case laws where all these three words are used. So it will not give you a case law where only of is being used, or and is being used, or only justice is being used without natural. That's not the point of our research. So let's see now. Now we have a better research going on now. Now, if you see, we get Natwar Singh. Natwar Singh says that if you're relying on certain documents, that has to be furnished along with the show cause notice, and this is more or less what you want if you see the extent of applicability of principles of natural justice. These are all stuff that you will use during a hearing, and it is also there in paragraph 26, 29, and 48. Perfect. But the question is this what you want exactly? The client has the facts with respect to what the client has come forward is with respect to disciplinary proceedings. Now of course you can use this, there's nothing wrong in it, but you want to see if there are cases on service law, or if there are cases on labor law specifically, where you will be able to find a similar case law. Which is now if you go through this, you will see service law here, you will see departmental inquiry, you'll see A. Sudhakar's case. Now you see that there are little more cases where it is little more relevant to your issue in hand. So you get State Bank of India versus S.K. Sharma, where this is somewhat similar. Now, if you see, what is important here is that now if you see, say for example, State Bank of Patiala's case, what stands out, why this case becomes relevant to you is because of this word, departmental inquiry, because that's exactly your case. That is exactly what you want. That is exactly the proceedings that you're challenging. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to refine my research. I'm going to refine my research to departmental inquiry. I'm going to add a couple of other words to restrict my research. Supply. Let me see if I can reduce it little more by adding show cause notice. If you will see, I've included all these words within quotes so that irrelevant documents doesn't come up. Now you will see. Now it's important for you to see this number, the 8323. If I again search, it reduces to 720, and you are going to get all the case laws that you want when it comes to departmental inquiry. Now if you want only Supreme Court, you can go to Supreme Court. You can choose this option where you will get only Supreme Court cases. You're going to get Patiala. You're going to get P.D. Agarwal. You're going to get Grameen Bank. All of these will be departmental inquiries where non-supply of. See, now the research has become a little more pinpointed, and you can actually go through these cases and find whichever is necessary for you to push it in. Now the next feature that is most useful is to sort out what you want. So you don't want Supreme Court, you just want Madras High Court to rely on, you can choose that option by choosing Madras High Court only. Once you choose that, you will get all the Madras High Court judgments with the relevant issue. So this is how you restrict your research so that you save time and at the same time you ensure that your research is does not lead to other unnecessary case laws. Now, another feature which is relevant for us will be this feature where you can sort your case laws according to how you want it. So if you want a case law of 2019 and not maybe 2000 or not maybe 1962, you can, oh, I'm so sorry, you can sort it by latest first. So the latest judgment of all the words that you've used, the latest judgment you will get at the top of the list, so that you can choose from this list, and then you will be able to see which one is relevant so that you can use for your hearing. So this is with respect to word search and a kind of Boolean search. Now, another way to do this Boolean search to restrict your research is the use of the word "and." Now, how do you use it? So, say for example, I use the same words without. I want to end up with the same research, but I'm not going to use double quotes. So what I'll end up using is departmental inquiry and supply and documents and natural justice. What I have seen when you use "and" in between each of these words is that same thing. It will only give you it will only give you hits. It will only give you case laws or hits which has all these words together, and that way you will be able to restrict your research. Now, the second kind of research that someone in litigation mostly what we use is research is keying in the words as a phrase. Now, how do you do it as a phrase? Now, let us take another example. Let's take an example of say a client comes to you and says that, listen, I received a show cause notice. The issues in the show cause notice was ABC. I had also replied for ABC, but when I saw the order, it also dealt with DEF, and I had no opportunity to argue before the authority. So what do? Again, we challenge the order. Now when we look at the case laws, sometimes it's easier for you to search the case law as a phrase. Why as a phrase? Now that's important. Now, if you see, the case laws that you would want will always use that particular phrase in the judgment. So by using that phrase, what will happen is that you will be able to call out all those case laws that you want. Now, in this situation, this is where the book research and the online research weaves in together, and you can really actually use both. If you just go through, if you take an admin law book, I'm sure you will be able to see that you will find out commentary where they'll say that the show cause that the order traveled beyond the show cause notice, and this would keep coming up when you read the book. So now, taking a cue from that, what you can use you can apply that into the research. So what you can do is the mistake that you can do is clearly typing beyond the show cause notice without any double quotes, or just using one of these prompts that SEC Online has given. Now, if you search this, what will happen is again, you are not restricting your research. You are getting 19,000 judgments, of which 95% of it are unnecessary. You don't want those judgments. What has happened is that SEC Online has decided to choose off the and decided that this is one of the most important case laws that you want, or an article that you want, which is not the case. So what you do is you restrict the research, but you know the phrase is correct. You know for a fact that just because you see that you saw it in the commentary. So what you do use the double quote. This is in fact something that I picked up from a senior, Mr. Sridevan. I mean, he taught me once. So let's use the same thing. Beyond the show cause notice. Now let's see what happens now. I've used the same set of words, but I've used it within quotes. Yes. Now you're getting little more. You're getting better search results. Shaki allied, where they say that the tribunal has gone beyond the show cause notice, or you get Deepak Agarwal, where they say that where beyond the show cause notice. So in all these case laws, you will find that beyond the show cause notice is used in a single sentence, not notice somewhere or show somewhere or beyond somewhere, which will give you 19,000 hits. So this is how you restrict your research, by using phrases also. Now this is something that also is useful when you research on a particular issue. Now there are other factors also in research. So what you've seen here is that using digital library is mostly play of words. You will have to keep using different kinds of keywords. You need to, the better the keywords, the better the search results that you will get. So if you have a case where there is permanent injunction, is the plaintiff has filed permanent injunction, but there's no declaratory relief, but the defendant has cited Anathala Sudhakar and said that, listen, there's a defect in the title, therefore he cannot seek permanent injunction alone. So what do you do if you're appearing for the plaintiff or an appellant plaintiff in that case? So what you can do is you can still play around with the words and see if you can find case laws. Of course, in this case, using the book or a specifically like book is the most easiest, where you can quickly pick up case laws. In addition to that, what you can do is also this. What you can do is you can use other words. So say, for example, you can use Anathala, you can use denial of title, you can use evidence, and see what comes up. You can see if there are any case laws where you will find that, listen, just because the defendant set up a moonshine defense, you cannot reject the suit. So let's see, maybe so this will be of use, because what SEC has done again is that it's used Anathala Sudhakar, it's used denial of title, it's used evidence. So I know for a fact that the case law that I'm looking for, 90% will have all these words. So which is why I get a search result of 65. The lesser, the better, in most cases. Now if you see para 12, you will see that the Supreme Court has said that there's no point setting up a moonshine defense, but the evidence should be there in a proper manner. So that is how you use keywords and essentially play with it, so that you will get the best case law that you want. Now, moving forward, now this particular way of research, the Boolean search, where you use double quotes or where you use and, or if you want to extend the research, I extend the research. What I will add is maybe I'll add furnish or document. So so in such a case, if I'm going to use or, what will happen is that you will get case laws where you will get case laws where there'll be use of the word furnish and also use of the word or, the use of the word document. So what will happen is that your area of research will be larger, and it will be if you want an extensive research, then you might want to use OR. But in most scenarios, you wouldn't want to use OR because the number of hits will be higher, and you may not end up getting the best case law that you want. Now, now moving forward, this kind of research that you do, can be used across all platforms. உங்களுக்கு ஒண்ணா நீங்க வந்து மனுபாத்ரால யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம், இந்தியன் கானூன்ல யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். இந்தியன் கானூன்லயும் same thing. Let's just go to Indian Kanun. Let me just get into Indian Kanun and see if I can use the same set of research. So I'm going to use furnish, I'm going to use supply, I'm going to use documents. Now that I know what words come in the departmental inquiry cases, I can freely put whatever words I want and restrict my research. So furnish, supply, documents, delinquent, standard term, delinquent. There's no chance that there'll be a case without the word delinquent. So now there's right trial, I'll put delinquent. I will put some other case law, say for example, I'll put show cause notice. So let's see what hits I get. So you get these case laws. Now if I want only Chennai case laws, I can click Chennai and I'll get only Madras High Court case laws. The petitioner again requested for supply 15 documents. So if you get into this, if you go into the link, you will definitely see that it will be somehow relevant, so that you will be able to use the case law at the time of hearing. Now going back to SEC, there are a couple of other features also that can be used. I hope I am audible. I just wanted to. Some of the other features that you will find are if you have so you can search a case law with a particular section. Say for example, I go to Income Tax Act. I will find all the sections in this act, and if in particular I want a case law under section 147, I can go to section 147, 148. I can click on this, I can say go, and then I will get all the case laws on earth which has section 148 in it. So this is also a case law. This is also a kind of case law research that you can use if you are preparing a compilation of case laws in a written argument. So if you want to give a compilation of 25 case laws on a particular point to emphasize the issue, you can definitely use this. To strengthen your case law research and submit a case law paper book to a judge. So this tool can be used in those kind of searches. Now the next kind of search that you do is with respect to citation. This is something that we all do, something that librarians help us on a daily basis, where you have a citation in a hand. Your senior gave you the citation. You just need to go pick up the print of the citation as soon as possible. That is when you use this. So if you want citation, you can key in the citation here, and you can click on this, and you will be able to get the citation. You will be able to get the case law in no time. Now let's go. Now this is also an interesting tool that you can use. So say for example, sometimes what happens is that over discussion with your senior or in the course of a briefing, senior might say that, listen, you know what, Anasula Sudhakar case irukku panni takkan edukren. So the easiest way to get to that is either by using double quotes Anasula and then searching in this, or you simply choose Supreme Court and type Anasula here, and then the only search result that you get is this case. So you can directly use this case law. You can directly use this, and then you will get this case law. Now Another interesting feature of this on SEC is that you can search with the famous names of cases also. So say for example, you may not know the case title of triple talaq case, but you know it's triple talaq case. So what you can do is you can type triple talaq case here, you'll get Shaira Bano. You can use this, you can use this and you'll get the citation in no time. Or say for example, you want bank nationalization case, you can get the bank nationalization case. You can directly get RC Cooper. Now these are the different ways of research and finding case laws. Another way of research is by topic. SEC Online will give you a host of topics to choose from. So you can choose, say for example, CPC. You can choose. Let's see what it gives me. It will give you a host of topics of some 11,000 cases. So from this you can read out whatever case laws you want. So say for example, you want. I can see right away. You can see something with respect to remand. So I can use the word remand. I can use the words lakine. I can use the words fill up and hope that you get some results. You get two cases. You get two direct Supreme Court cases where you can use it during a hearing. So this is also another easy way of landing the best case law that you want. Now going back to the dashboard, apart from this style, what you have are the law reports where you can browse through the law reports. If you want, you can browse through judgments by court or tribunal specifically and see what you get. So for example, you can browse through the Supreme Court judgments year-wise. You can go through, say from 2000 to 2009, if there's a particular judgment of 2009 that you want, you can go through year-wise and also go through the judgment. So this is broadly how SEC works and broadly how you can use this. Now I will move to a slightly different search engine called Manu. I'm sure everyone would have used Manupatra at one point of at some point of their practice. Now this also, like I said, this address bar is similar. It's same as what I showed on SEC. Now in this also, but there are some additional features on Manupatra that you might not find on SEC, or it's a little more difficult to do it on SEC. So let's see, for example, let's take the same example of Anatala Sudhakar. I get these case laws. Now, one thing that is good about Manupatra is one good Manupatra is that you can filter the case laws court-wise. So if you want only Madras and Supreme Court, you can filter it this way. But what is more useful in Manupatra is this green button that you see here. Now, this green button is for an authority check. So, say for example, so let's click on Anatala Sudhakar and see what is there. So, what happens here is that I hope everybody is able to see this. What happens here is that what you will find is a chart kind of a thing where there are cases relied on and cases mentioned, discussed, distinguished, and affirmed. So if you want a case law of Madras High Court which has followed Anatala Sudhakar, instead of typing the same words again and again and going through multiple or going through some 20-odd case laws, what you can do is you can just use this green button, and if you will see and you will see here that this judgment has in fact followed Anathala Sudhakar. That's because the legend here says that if it's green, it's relied upon. So I can really pick this case up directly, and then use it for my hearing. So there will be scenarios where there are case laws which might be overruled or which might be dissented. In such scenarios, what you will find is there will be a dot or a circle with red color on it. That means that particular case law has indeed dissented from the particular case law that you are researching. So this is one useful tool that Manupatra offers, and it's particularly very easy to search. One other very useful tool that Manupatra has is restricting your search with judges. So say for example, if you want a case law which has Anathala Sudhakar in it, and if you want a case law rendered by Justice Sikri, you can certainly use this, and you can get. So basically, these two case laws are case laws where Anathala Sudhakar is referred and Justice Sikri has passed out. So essentially, what is happening is that you will be able to restrict your research with judges also, say to restrict your research basically. Now there is another useful tool which my good colleague told me sometime today, that which I have not used before, but he said that this is actually useful. So let's use the same set of words for an example. Let's see, furnish, delinquent, and supply, relevant, and documents, and there you go add. So you make, okay, one thing about Manupatra is that you ensure that you use the word and. That restricts the number of searches, like how we key in and in on SEC. This is in Manupatra, you can just use this drop down to ensure that all these words are there in that particular case law. Now, what is a very useful tool in Manupatra is this legal analytics. Now, if you get into this legal analytics, what happens is that you get a chart like this. Now, these are Supreme Court case laws, and these are all High Court decisions. Now, what is useful here is that if you are trying to look for a set of case laws rendered by other high courts also, apart from the Madras High Court, and which has followed the Supreme Court, what you can do is say, for example, State of Tamil Nadu versus T.K. Perumal is one of the Supreme Court case laws which discusses this particular issue. Now, what is useful here is that the lines that you see to each of these green dots, what you will see is that this is the AP High Court judgment which has relied on this judgment. So 90% of the cases, 90% the chances are that it will be on the same issue, and you are going to end up getting more case laws on the same issue, which will end up enhancing your research. So this is another interesting tool. Say for example, State Bengal Corporation versus Swapan Kumar Mitra is one other Supreme Court citation. And if you will see, this case law has been specifically referred to, okay, this may not help because this will be the High Court judgment against which the Supreme Court judgment is on. This is another Guwahati High Court judgment. So maybe in your case, Guwahati High Court will not work. But what you can use is you can broaden your research with this tool, and that is how analytics can be used on Manu. Now, similar to SEC, Manupatra also has its own legal research, where if I want a particular act in these times, not many of us have access to barracks. Most of the barracks will be stuck in office. You have a VC hearing, act kandupidiche aagano. So in that case, you can use this tool or the SEC tool to get the acts, or for the rules. So Central Act, if I want Income Tax Act, let me see if I can get Income Tax Act. You can search income. Okay, here you go. So here I get Income Tax Act. I'll select View Selected Act, and here you have Income Tax Act. You have all the sections. You can refer to it directly. One thing is that one important thing when we are doing this research is that we need to ensure that this is up to date, and it is not and that the amendments are also incorporated in this particular link. So that is something that you need to be careful about. Now, apart from this, there is also a citation search for Manupatra, where you can look for citations directly. You can use one of these citations, whichever books that you would, the citation that you would require. Say, for example, if you want AI or Supreme Court, you can look for AR Madras. You can look for AR Madras. You can key in the year. You can key in the volume. You can key in the page number also. Okay, this particular there's no citation, but I'm sure you will get citations, whichever citations that you will require from this tool. So this broadly covers the Manupatra and SEC. I would also like to add another thing, where if you require barracks, you can or bills, drafts and stuff like that, you can search it through this method, where you go, there's drop down for everything, and there are table of contents. You can choose alphabetical. Say, for example, Actuaries Act is something that you want. You can choose Actuaries Act directly from here, and you will get the whole act here. So this is how you can use Manupatra and SEC during these times if you don't have access to barracks. So this is with respect to portals that you have. Now, some of the couple of other things that I really wanted to share with the participants are other websites on which you can find barracks, or you can find legislation. So one of the good websites is this indiacode.in. This is a website where you can find all the barracks in this. So you just need to key in the word, you just need to key in the act that you want, and you will be able to get the act. So say, for example, if I require the insolvency and bankruptcy code, I can clearly type insolvency. I can easily type insolvency, get bankruptcy code, and get the barrack and the sections. It flows. If you want the rules under it, you can get the rules here. If there are regulations, you can get the regulations here. If you require state acts or legislations, you can use this link to get into Tamil Nadu's state act. Say, so for example, if you require urban land tax, let's see if I can get an urban land tax act here. You can get the urban land tax here. View, you can find urban land tax. you can find the PDF here, and you can get the act. Now, some of the other websites which are useful would be the Lok Sabha website. This is another portal that one of my good friends suggested for finding legislation. So here, one additional feature that you will find is that you can find bills which have not been passed, which have only been tabled. You can find you can save, so you can use this legislation, and you can see bills pending. So let's see if the if we can find data protection bill here. So let's see if we can find here. Okay, data protection is not there, but certainly you will be able to find the bills, and
It's the bill stage now, so it must be in the form of a bill only.
Yes, sir. So, but I mean, they should have updated it. I did find it a couple of hours back when I was just trying to see how this worked. But you will be able to find the bills passed and other bills, and also you will be able to find out amendment acts and everything in this website also. So yes, that sums up broadly. Yes, there is another website that I would like to share, which is PRS India, which is a very user-friendly website where you will be able to find all the bills or the acts and everything. This is the drop-down where you will find the bills, where you can find the parliament, you can find the budget sessions if you require. So the insolvency backup amendment ordinance is here in this. So it's a very user friendly, and you will be able to find all the. So these are broadly the websites that I use and some of my other colleagues use to get their acts online. So that purely sums up the session. Unless the participants have doubts, or if some of the participants have something else to add here, or some other ways of or some other way that you can research, or a better way to research, I'm sure we'll be able to discuss now. Yes, sir. Srinivas, sir.
Mr. Bhagavat, I have only one thing to ask. In addition to these statutes, rules, and judgment, is there any way of going for any Constitutional Assembly debates or any other?
Yes, sir. You will find the Constitutional Assembly debates. I'm so sorry. You will be able to find the debates.
And the statement on the objects of any other enactment. Like, for example, if I go for the object of the amendment of Section 6 of the Hindu Succession Act, so where shall I go for?
So there are a couple of websites that you can use. So PRS India will have the discussion and everything. So say, for example, if I'm going to look for acts passed by Parliament, and say if I look for, you will be able to find the Parliamentary Committee discussions and
reports.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you will be able to see all these in PRS India.
So in addition to this Manupatra, CTC online, and we have a local, I think, online platform like CTC online, I think MLJ and Law Weekly.
Yes, sir.
They're all paid versions. Now, and what do you think of the offline portals?
The problem with the offline portals that you might face is that it may not be updated. So the difficulty that you might face is that you might not, if you require a 2019 judgment or a 2020 judgment, you might find it difficult to find on those offline portals. But the way you research, the kind of research that you want, the words that you put in, the double quotes that you use, the Boolean search that you use, it will be common across all platforms.
And what is your suggestion about CTJ online? They're the same kind of search only.
It's the same thing, sir. It's just that these are all different platforms that give you different judgments, and it's almost the same, sir. I don't find any difference in any of the. If you have CDJ, you will get better Madras High Court decisions. maybe sometimes better than SEC online, but yes, the kind of research that you do will be the same.
So, you have any other better common general tips to search law fastly, swiftly, whenever the seniors drive the juniors to have it immediately on hand?
I think I think that the best way would be to I mean, if you are able to find a book, then that would be the easiest way to 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 have a pinpointed research. Use the book first, and then quickly get into one of these online portals and use the words that you see in the commentary, so that you will find you will be able to do better research. If you don't find a book, there are a couple of shortcuts that I and some of my colleagues use. You can use Google. So say for example, suddenly there is an issue of whether say there's an issue of some guarantees when it comes to COVID, or when it comes to or in a COVID situation, what will happen to a force majeure clause. So what sometimes we do is we go, say for example, we do guarantee, we do COVID. Same, the double quotes will work everywhere that you want to use.
So
You will
guarantee
get
or it's a guarantee or quarantine?
Yes,
Just
sir.
for fun sake. Yeah.
Yes, sir. So in quarantine times, if you really if you really want a guaranteed result, then I think you will have to use double quotes, and then you will find these articles which are extremely useful. And I'm extremely thankful to various lawyers who've been updating everyone's knowledge with these articles. You will find case files here. You will be able to use these research tools better also.
There are two questions in the chat box, Mr. Bhagavat.
Yes.
One, Mr. P. Harikumar Associate asks, how do you trace the object of the particular act or particular section? Once again, he wants to know the statement of object of the particular amendment or act. Where to search exactly?
Usually,
I may request you to demonstrate by reference to the object of the amendment of Section 6 of the Hindu Succession Act in 2005.
Yes, sir. Let's
Act
see
9 of 2005.
Yes, sir. Let's see if I'm able to find it. I'll just,
try if it is possible. Okay.
Yes, sir. I'll just see if I'm able to do it.
Of course, it's just a matter of an attempt.
Yep.
This is where most of the time the advocates are in a fix. We want to know how and why the amendment came into force.
Yes, sir.
And so, some of the books.
Yes, sir. I completely understand. What happens is that PRS is something that I usually use. So this is the Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code Amendment Ordinance that has come about in the month of March or in the month of June. Now, if it is an amendment act, here is where you will find the statement of objects and reasons and stuff like that. But
that's fine. That's what it's exactly I want. This is exactly I want. Thank you.
This is a particular link. What we can do is also we can use the Lok Sabha website to look for discussion papers or look for the acts.
See the next question in the name of Demos iPad. Have you ever come across such a search engine? Or is it a website of an institute or something like?
No, sir.
I don't think.
Unfortunately, I do not use Indian Law Library, but I'm sure if the person who typed it has used it, then I'm sure it is one other website where you can look for all the acts and everything.
Okay. So the link now you have given from Lok Sabha is about the details of the acts and bills introduced and passed.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir. This website will essentially have all the details that you would want.
It refers to the date of introduction, date of passing in the Lok Sabha, debate passed in Rajya Sabha, and assent, date of assent and the gazette notification. Home, members, business, questions, debates, paper slide, committees, and okay, that's fine. Good. Good.
There is one other question which is, which is the best online research, SEC online, Manupatra, AAR online, or Westlaw? It purely depends on someone's comfort and the tools that they want. If for me, I'm more comfortable with SEC online. For some of my colleagues, Manupatra is more it's more comfortable for them to use Manupatra. Westlaw you can use if you really require international citations, although you will get international citations on SEC Online and Manupatra also.
There's one question, Mr. R.M. Balaji, see that he wants you to explain once again the green button in Manupatra.
Oh, sure, sir, definitely. So this is one other case law of the year 1960. Now, if you want to do an authority check to ensure that it has not been overruled or it has not been dissented by any other court or a different bench, what you can use is this tool where you click on the green button, and then what you will see is this. So say, for example, in Madras High Court, all of these, the number of dots that you see or the circles that you see are the number of times that Madras High Court has used this particular judgment. Now, for example, say for example, Supreme Court in Gene Smith has used this judgment to reaffirm the point that has been raised in the judgment. So, say for example, this judgment basically says that you cannot reopen a concluded income tax assessment without by a mere change of opinion. So Gene Smith here would have referred the same thing. So that is the use that we will have when it comes to an authority check like this. So these are so Delhi High Court and Jindal Court of Appeals have used this judgment. So that is how you use this green button for an authority check. If there indeed has been an overruling or a dissent, then in that case there will be a red dot. Say for example, here in Calcutta High Court has dissented in Electro Steel Castings case. So that is how you find the dissent in a particular case. I hope I've made myself clear. Is there anything else that
Any other question means the participants may use raise their options, or the participant can post the questions to my WhatsApp. I'll forward the questions to Mr. Bhagavad Krishnan.
Certainly.
On his reply, I'll forward once again and post in the same.
Anyone can get in touch with me, no problem.
Again, it's a question for GOs, Mr. SB. Moses. He wants to know what is the website for the GOs, government orders. Probably you may go to the respective government department sites or any other.
Department sites, you'll have to go to the government department sites, you'll have to go to the
NIC website.
The NIC website and stuff like that. So that is something you'll have to go department sites.
That's fine. For the moment, it's very interesting, Mr. Bhagavad. I'm very frank to say that the session is really useful because not, as Ma'am Krishnaveni said, not everybody is well versed in technology. Even if we have fastest internet connection, even if we have a latest iPad in our hand, or even if you have the very good instrument device or something, unless you know how to make use of the technology, it's of no use. So the session you handled today is practically like having a good tool in the hands to search the law. And in case of any doubts, I'll revert you once again. On behalf of MMBA and Lex Webinar series, I thank you, Mr. Bhagavad Krishnan. Thanks a lot for you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you very much.
If there are any other questions, they can get in touch with me. I will be able to help them out. And I'll also like to thank everybody, the participants in the session, for hearing me out and helping me.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Thank you, Bhagavad.
Thank you.